Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I will present my study about the role of health cadres to increase housewife knowledge, attitude and intention toward medicinal plant cultivation and usage at Kedungjati, Grobogan, Central Java. First, let me introduce my team. Fani Indrian Mustafa, Nuning Rahmawati, Zuraida Fitriana, Asri Wuryani, and Widiantoro. The background of this study are traditional medicine has a broad dimension of benefit including health, economy, and social culture. The government has made efforts by involving the active participation of the community to maintain their own health. Using traditional medicine is one of the community participation that support health development. It is important to promote and sustain community initiative with the right policies and emphasize the need to strengthen the links between cultural conservation and socio-economic development of local communities. Regarding the use of medicinal plants, the gender role analysis found that the preparation, storage, and use of medicinal plants were mostly carried out by women. Likewise, the transfer of knowledge to the next generation is the responsibility of women. Women also have a greater tendency to seek health information than men. Work of this study is theory of recent action that can help determine the design of health program implementation by considering attitude and subjective norms. But we acknowledge here that probably can affect intention to cultivate the use of medicinal plants. The purpose of this study is to analyze the role of health cadres on the increasing of knowledge, attitudes, and intention of housewives in cultivating and using medicinal plant for family health efforts. And the benefit of this study are the community has an ability to maintain and improve families' health independently by cultivating and utilizing medicinal plants, and the community has an ability to share the correct information about the use of medicinal plants. The method of this study is a quasi-experimental with a pre-test and post-test design and a control group design. It conducted to obtain a characteristic of demography, knowledge, attitude, and intention data. The research was conducted in Kedungjati, Grobogan Regency, Central Java Province, Indonesia. According to the National Health Survey 2013, this district has the third lowest public health development index in Central Java Province and is one of three districts in Central Java which is a health problem area. Kedungjati was located in the border area between Grobogan and Semarang Regency. The sub-district has the farthest distance from the district capital compared to others. It's about 43 kilometers. Its geographical conditions are hilly with scattered villages between rubber and thick forest. The public health center is the only formal health service facility in the sub-district. It causes a very limited access to health services. The population in this study were health cadres and housewives in Kedungjati from 12 villages. The health cadres were 36 people and the housewives were 120 people. The inclusion criteria of cadres were had been a cadre for at least 2 years, never received a similar intervention, had age between 25 and 50 years old. The criteria of participants were housewives between 19 to 50 years old, live in the same villages as the cadres, and well literate. A pre-study or need assessment was carried out to analyze the community's resources by involving public health center, the resources including the existence of health cadres and the environment condition in supporting medicinal plants growth. The semi-structured questionnaire was developed for pre and post-test. The instrument has been validated by trial in other community with similar characteristics and had good internal consistency for all variables with Cronbach alpha at 0.82. The participants were divided randomly based on villages into two groups, treated group and control group. Each group consists of 60 participants from 6 villages. The group A involved the role of trained cadres in transferring knowledge through counseling in small classes that conducted in each village. They also receive pocketbook and medicinal plant seedling. The Group B only given pocketbook and medicinal plant seedling with no cadres involved. The cadres of Group B will give counseling to the housewife after all evaluation have finished for ethical purposes. Data were analyzed by a comparative analysis of counseling time carried out by repeated ANAVA and Friedman, and then comparative analysis of group by Wilcoxon and paired t-test. Results shown in the following slide. Participant proportion by age group. Most of the respondents were aged 36 to 45. It's about 42%, followed by the age group of 25 to 35, and the rest were the age group of 46 to 55 years old. At this age, mothers are independent in making decisions about health services needed by their family. The older a person gets, he or she will be wiser and lots of things that have been encountered and experienced. Most of the housewives in the treated group had an elementary education level, it's about 40%, while most of them in the control group had junior high school education, it's about 42%. Only small proportion of them have senior high education and higher education in both groups. The former study in Shanghai reported that a high education level is not a guarantee of having more traditional knowledge. Indeed, people with no formal education cultivate more medicinal plant species than people with university degrees. Almost all of participants, based on the proportion of occupation, admitted that they were housewives without permanent paid job. In the treated group, 97% of the participants were housewives. If they work outside at home, such as going to the fields or selling at home, it's only a side job. Comparison of participant variables before counseling, 1 month and 3 months after counseling. Both groups showed a significant difference in the knowledge of the participant between before, or we call it baseline, a month or evaluation 1, and 3 months or evaluation 2 after counseling. As for the other variables, only intention in the intervention group showed significant differences in the 3 phases of evaluation. There were no significant differences in attitude of both groups. The role of cadres probably motivated participants and lead to a strong intention in using and cultivating medicinal plant. Knowledge is the easiest behavior to change compared to attitudes and intention. From the post-hoc analysis of the treated group, there was a significant difference in participants' knowledge at all time intervals. However, the intention showed a significant difference only in the second and third time intervals. Knowledge of control group showed a significant difference between the first and second evaluation, but not in the third. With no cadres involved, there is a possibility that the participants' learning process will only take place in the early stage of the program after pocketbooks and medicinal plant seeds have been distributed. Then they seem no longer motivated to learn in the last 2 months of the program. From the result of the comparative analysis of variables between the intervention group and the comparison group, it was found that only knowledge had a significant difference. The role of cadres in disseminating information and motivating participants to use and cultivate medicinal plant does not contribute to the attitude and intention of participants in both groups. The conclusion of this study is that cadres play a role in increasing knowledge of housewives in their surrounding. They also have increases participants' intention in 3 months evaluation in the treated group. Recommendation of this study is medicinal plants and traditional medicine education for health cadre are critically needed for community. That's all our presentation. We do apologize if there is any mistake in our presentation and thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.